3D Coat from scratch. The modeling, sculpting, topology, texturing, and rendering program from Pilgway. 3D Coat allows you to sculpt with voxels without any limitations whatsoever. In this series, we'll start from the very beginning, assuming that you have no prior knowledge of 3D Coat at all. Let's start with the smallest voxel sphere. Holding the right mouse button down, drag to the right to enlarge our sphere. Select this shader, Lamb Light, which is good for the kind of character we're going to start making. We'll begin our learning experience by forming a simple cartoon character, Whadda Rat. From the Symmetry menu, turn on Symmetry across the X-axis. Now, dragging with your left mouse button down, you can see how we can rotate our object in any direction. Holding the right mouse button down and dragging left and right zooms in and out of our scene. Holding down the middle mouse button and dragging pans our view. Let's begin sculpting our rat character by choosing the Move tool from the Voxel tool menu. Holding the cursor over our voxel sphere, hold down the right mouse button and drag to the right to enlarge our brush. Drag upwards. Now drag inward to shape the body of the rat. Hold down the left mouse button and drag to view the model from all angles. Follow along using the Move tool and shape the body of the rat as shown. Since it's clear which way is up, down, right, and left, we can hide our symmetry plane by pressing S and checking this option. The Smooth tool works particularly well at this low resolution to smooth out any inconsistencies in the surface of our model. Drag to the right to enlarge the Smooth tool and just rub it over the model. That looks pretty good as a starting cartoon body shape. Now the fun begins with the Snake tool. Right-click and drag on the object to make the brush about the size of a skinny neck. Right-click on the top of the object to locate the neck and drag upwards. Selecting the Move tool once more, right-click and drag to resize the brush, left-click and drag to adjust the position of the neck. Now select the Sphere tool to begin to draw an initial shape for the head. In this case, left-clicking and dragging in the viewport draws a sphere extrusion. Ctrl-Z to delete that. To rotate the view with the Sphere tool selected, hold down the Alt key. Right-click and drag on the object to size the brush. Right-click on the top of the neck to position the sphere in space, raise it up, and left-click once. Ctrl-Z if it's not high enough. You can see we're having trouble positioning the sphere exactly in the center of space. Pressing down on the Caps Lock key hides the brush shape and lets you see the two blue dots. Try to align them perfectly. Position them in space above the neck and click once. The sphere is automatically welded to the neck. Select the Move tool again and begin shaping the head. Right-click and drag on your object to size the brush and shape the head into a kind of teardrop shape. Select the Sphere tool again, remembering to hold down the Alt key to rotate, right-click and drag to size the brush to cheek size, and click once on the side of the face. Align the two blue dots in the center and click once to form the nose. Hold down the Alt key, left-click and drag to rotate your model and view it from all sides. Select the Fill tool and begin to fill in and smooth the abrupt changes in the surfaces of the model. To change any brush's effect intensity, right-click and drag upward or downward on the model. You'll see the curve change accordingly. At low resolutions, the Smooth tool has a similar but more extreme effect. Be careful to avoid using the Smooth tool on very thin areas of the model. Select the Move tool again and begin shaping the nose and the cheeks. One thing to note about the Move tool, as you drag into empty space, new voxel volume is created automatically on the fly. When using most tools, simply left-clicking and dragging in empty space rotates your view. Select the very versatile Move tool again and start to rough out the shape of the mouth and the nose. If the result is not to your liking, simply use Ctrl-Z to undo your actions. Once the cheek indentations are defined, select the Sphere tool again, hold down the Control key to cause the tool to indent, resize the brush, center it and place the mouth cavity. Releasing the Control key and placing the cursor just below the mouth cavity, place a chin. The Move tool, now being our friend, is the right tool to use to finish off the mouth. The mouth is a very important part of this character. Make sure to view your model from all angles to get it just right. Don't worry about any extreme changes you might introduce with the Move tool. It has the ability to smooth as it stretches. For general sculpting with the Move tool, the brush alpha on the far right of the brush panel is the safest one to use. You can, however, get better spherical-shaped recesses by using this alpha. And remember, Ctrl-Z is your friend. Notice how the brush shape orients itself to the shape in the surface of the model. Just remember, after using an extreme alpha, switch back to the regular alpha for general sculpting applications. Even though things look fairly rough at this stage, the Fill tool can come to our rescue. Reselect the Move tool to refine the shape of the nose and the forehead. Resize your brush and move things inward. And while you're at it, elongate the nose. Drag backward to round out the cheek shape. Our rat character is rather a wise guy, so we have to get everything just right. If the mouth cavity ends up not being deep enough, now's a good time to fix that. You can eliminate any ridges by getting close to the ridge and dragging outward. Let's select the Sphere tool again to create the eye sockets and the nose. When placing the eye sockets, make sure the middle doesn't get eaten away. Just locate them farther from the center. To position the nose perfectly in the center, press Caps Lock and align the two blue dots. While still working in low resolution, it's never too late to make drastic changes. Select the Move tool again, and resize the brush by right-clicking and dragging on the object to a very large size. We can literally shrink the voxel volume by pushing inwards and upwards. This digital functionality even transcends what can be done with traditional media. To speed things up, learn to use the spacebar to access all the voxel tools. We're going to increase the resolution and smooth everything out while doing so. Increasing the resolution at this stage in the modeling process will aid us in adding necessary details. Select the Sphere tool, place it inside the eye socket, and left-click to place an eyeball. If it's not where you want it, Ctrl-Z to undo and try again. This type of cartoon eyeball can be left on the same layer as the rest of the body and head. The iris will be animated separately. Choose the Move tool again, reduce the brush to a suitable size, and drag upward on the top of the eye. Use Ctrl-Z and try again. Moving carefully and slowly at this stage in the modeling process pays off in big dividends later. There. I think now might be a good time to pause and reflect and wait until our next session. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time in 3D Coat.